As we proceed with our operations, we must ensure precision and dedication in every task. Nnamdi Kanu personality is difficult to explain. I think his supporters here in prison are increasing daily in hundreds. The federal government should do something now before it is too late, because he is taking over the prison.
Wonderful people, viewers and subscribers, good morning and good afternoon and good evening. I woke up this morning and I saw this clip you just finished watch. Just like we keep saying earlier, despite the fact that they say nobody is celebrity inside prison, but you cannot take away the fact that Nnamdi Kanu is a game changer anywhere he finds himself. I will not be surprised if this clip is real, but some people say it's AI, which I doubt. Anything that will make a northern Islamist, I repeat, anything that will make a northern Islamist to come out and debunk those rumors that Nnamdi Kanu is converting people inside Sokoto prison. My brother, just know it, not true be that. And there is a rumor also flying left, right, and center now that they want to move Nnamdi Kanu from there now to Zamfara prison. I don't know whether it will be official or it will be non-official. I don't know about that, but that is allegedly they want to move him, because to them they said Nnamdi Kanu now is converting all the whole people inside the Sokoto prison. I don't know how possible is that, because Nnamdi Kanu cannot speak Hausa or Kanuri or Fufude. It's only English. And most of the Hausas being inside the detention there cannot even speak a simple English. So how possible is that? But that one is just to test the waters. That's why I put that video. But the main video you're about to watch now is Sowore explaining to us that Injustice JAMES-O and Turumbu will visit Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto prison to go and apologize to him. He said even if maybe they would have done that, secretly you will not know, which is possible. In fact, I saw them doing that. You know, Sowore is like a whistleblower. Don't forget, before the judgment of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he made it clear on November 5th that look at what is happening, look at what these people. I don't know whether the Tinubu government is working with him or maybe he knows more than the government in place. I cannot say. But let me just allow you to see that clip and then we'll come back here for more discussion. As you're watching, please kindly subscribe, like, share, and comment. Follow us on all our social media handles. As you do that, may the Almighty God also follow you to solve all your problems. And so shall it be. So please, help me to see this clip and then drop your thoughts at the comment section. I'll be right back.
The judge is still going to go there and visit and apologize and confess. It happened to Fela. The judge who sentenced him, when Fela was there, he was sent to Maiduguri, Bama prison. The judge drove there from Lagos to go and apologize, wherever he was. You know, judge is still going to, Tinubu will still visit Nnamdi Kanu in prison.
What was going through your mind or your reaction when Justice James-O was reading that life imprisonment judgment on November 20th?
Nothing. You know why? Because as of November 5, I had explained in a long tweet on my page and on my Facebook, on my social media handles, exactly what was going to happen on November 20th. Two things were going to happen in November. They were actually supposed to have jailed Nnamdi Kanu on November 10th. But they realized at the last minute that it was Ken Saro-Wiwa's same day that they killed Ken Saro-Wiwa. Second, the sentence was supposed to be a death sentence. But because they could not get, the support they needed to carry it out, they decided to make it life. I'm not sure as of the time he went for a break to come and read the judgment, was still, what he had in his hand was a judgment for death sentence. If you see the passion with which he was reading the allegations against Nnamdi Kanu, one, the laborious and tedious way it was going on, he didn't write the judgment. You could tell. You could tell from his demeanor and his action that this was too much. A lot of mistakes. He couldn't mention his name. He said everything properly. And secondly, when he went back, they have to have another meeting with him. He said, look, I don't think we can carry out the death sentence. And that was why they settled for life. And then they imprisoned him. They settled for life and took him to Sokoto the next day. the fastest transfer of prisoner. And it was to send a message to the people on whose behalf he was sentenced to life. Because nobody should deceive you. Nnamdi Kanu's offense has nothing to do with what they read as his charges. Some of those charges are dead. Some of them no longer, some of the laws under which they do not exist, like the treason charge. You can't charge somebody for treason after 3 years of committing the offense. So they charge him almost 4 or 5 years after he committed the offense. Some of the charges restated had already been struck out. So it was just what they call trial and error. His offense is that he was asking for the breakup of the real estate called Nigeria. And the owners of Nigeria decided that, oh, you don't do that. That's, what is that offense the Christians talk about that is unforgivable it's an offense against the Holy Spirit. This is an offense against the holy oil in Nigeria. That was the reason why Tensarawa was, when you touch that area, they don't waste time, the owners of Nigeria. Then you've touched their economic life and nav. They'll kill you. They kill you immediately.
Have you been able to visit him in Sokoto?
I haven't, but I've had people who have visited and we've been in touch. Well, I'm in touch with him in general, but I've not visited Sokoto yet. But you see what I was telling you when I was planning the protest for Nnamdi Kanu, which I believe also might have led, which I believe was the reason they didn't pronounce death penalty, because that was a lot of attention, and that was why they were upset with me and sent me to Kuje prison for 4 days over that. When we were planning all that, I was calling on all these Eastern governments to speak out. Now they've realized that it's even more burden on them that Nnamdi Kanu is sentenced to death. That's why OT had to fly to Sokoto, maybe on a private jet, to go and visit Nnamdi Kanu. The judge is still going to go there and visit and apologize and confess. It happened to Fela. The judge who sentenced him, when Fela was there, he was sent to Maiduguri, Bama prison. The judge drove there from Lagos to go and apologize, wherever he was. Judge is still going to, Tinubu will still visit Nnamdi Kanu in prison. But we told them this was unnecessary. They could have saved themselves embarrassment on November 20th by just discharging him of, just releasing him unconditionally. Because you could tell, how do you accuse somebody of killing Gulak when you have him in TSS custody? How did he do it? No evidence. The only evidence they have is a radio transmitter and microphone. I was looking for an evidence of, he went to buy a ship of weapons and sent to Nigeria. No, not even a bullet. Just exercise book where he wrote his thoughts, and where a radio transmitter they claim he concealed and brought to Nigeria, and a microphone. That's all.
Why do you think his release is important to Nigeria?
Because, Nigeria entered voluntarily into a disease in 1963. And to exit from it and heal itself, you must address the outcome of the Civil War. All of this thing you're saying is the outcome of the 1970 Civil War. And part of the reason why you say I'm active on this matter is not political. I didn't fight that in that war when I was active, and I don't want to participate in fighting when it is cold. They're still waging a cold war against the Igbo man in Nigeria. I know it. I don't need to go to school to know that. I don't need to have a PhD in philosophy to know that Nigeria has an Igbo problem. But it would be hypocritical on my side to fight and speak on behalf of Palestinians when Israel is shelling them, and forget to fight on behalf of our local Palestinians in the southeast where Nigerian government is shelling them. That would be hypocrisy on my part.
How do you respond to claims that activism is funded by some quarters to create a false sense of opposition?
I'm very happy that people can have opinions about me that they can put out there. That makes them feel good. But if you want to do an activism that is creating a forces of opposition, go and put your younger brother out there and shoot him, and you finish burying him and continue your activism. Be expelled from the university twice. Let your nose be broken. Let your mother have stroke because they detain you for a long period of time. Let your passport be seized and you can't see your children for 5 years and you have to be with your wife for. Be shot at, let them go after you everywhere you go. So, and then we can all come to a place where we say, oh, we have created another activist who created a forces of opposition. I'm not trying to be an opposition. See, what people should differentiate between activism, as you call it, and opposition is cyclical in Nigeria. People only oppose the government when they are out of government, when they don't have something to eat. They will oppose the government. I don't belong in that category. And then what happens to activists all over the world is that a narrative is framed to scandalize you, right? And some people will believe it. So when you get to a point as an activist at my level, you don't even respond to that. Because then you get distracted responding to what they call hubris. At the end, the person who says, oh, you want to create real opposition so that the ones that are forced can pack and go home. So, but I understand that a person respects rights for people to have freedom of opinion. And I cannot tell you that anybody who says that has no right to say what he wants to say. Everybody should have a right to say that. That's the kind of country I'm fighting for, where you have a right to say what you want to say, and you are still free after you have said that.
Let's talk about revolution now.
Yes.
What exactly are you calling Nigerians to revolt against?
If there's anybody who's asking that question about this time, I have nothing to tell them. If Nigerians should be revolting against everything, I hate to say that, but I can't fail to tell you that every country that I've been to outside of Nigeria, and I've been to 31 countries beside Nigeria, and the question I ask myself is, what is wrong with us? And the question, the citizens of most countries that I've been to, the moment you introduce yourself to them, that you are Nigerian, they ask you two questions. One of it is that, where's that footballer? They always have a favorite footballer. JAMES-O is the most popular that I come across. And the second thing he says, why are you guys not revolting against your leaders? You have such a great country, but you have foolish leaders, you have crazy leaders. I'm telling you what outsiders tell me. They tell me in South Africa, you go to Ghana, they'll tell you. In fact, some of the reasons why Nigerians are hated abroad, apart from those who are accused of being too nice to their women and their women fall in love with them, because they say Nigerian men are very good in taking care of women. So there's that animosity I'm talking about. But the second reason most Africans hate Nigerians is that they love Nigeria to the point that they can't understand why Nigeria is not a great place. Yes. Because they love your football, they love your culture, they live off of your music, their life is dependent on your movies, their spirituality is controlled by your clerics, right? And then they will have to wake up and hear that you don't have water, running water. You don't have electricity. They can't travel to your country to go and see. I don't know how many Africans, I'm not saying Europe, I don't know how many Africans are saying, I wish I can go to Nigeria. I hear so much about Nigeria. How is it? But they'll tell you, but they said, you can't go there. They'll kidnap you. So Nigeria, if you have a child born abroad, you can ask anybody in diaspora. The only way to get your child to behave properly is to say, I'm taking you to Nigeria. I said, at the place, what do you want me to do? I don't want to go to Nigeria. I'll do it. Which other country do you use to threaten your children like that? Your children offend you, like, I'm taking you to Nigeria. I said, no, please, daddy. Please. I don't want to go to Nigeria. And they have never been before. It's just based on what they've heard from their classmates. But The good news is that there's something that is not related to government that keeps them going. My son plays soccer and he's focused on Osimhen. It's like, did you see what Osimhen played? I don't even watch soccer that much. But you can't talk to my son about politics. He doesn't want to hear it because that's the traumatic part of Nigeria that affects him directly. His father is constantly hounded for being a citizen of Nigeria. He's aware, but he has found a way to please himself with something Nigerian, which is soccer. Some have adopted Nigerian skit makers, they've adopted movie makers, musicians. People talk about all these young, great musicians. They have fans all over the world. They're doing well. Nigeria has almost replaced the entire musical genre around the world. Afrobeat, or whatever Afro they call it, is popular everywhere, even in the Nordic region. You go to Norway, you go to Nigeria, Sweden, the concert is filled up. It doesn't matter if it's Burna Boy or Flavor or Davido or Wizkid. But who wants to come to Nigeria to do a concert? Probably not many.
Very, 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 very wonderful analytics from Omoyele Sowore, or let me say Alhaji Omoyele Sowore. He have already hit the nail on the head. In fact, as it stands now, it seems like these people, maybe must have gone, or they must send somebody secretly to go and beg Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I tell you the simple truth. The judgment almost also passed, to the best of my knowledge, is just to satisfy some powers that be. A lot of people vow that Nnamdi Kanu will never be released unconditionally. Not that because he done anything, but because he is trying to remove nipple from their mouths. When a baby is sucking milk and you mistakenly remove the nipple from the baby's mouth, my brother, that baby is going to cry, right? Not crying because of you remove the nipple, but because you want to deny him or her the right or the opportunity for him to suck the milk dry. You get the point now, eh? So Nigerian government, or rather the powers that be that want Nnamdi Kanu to be sentenced at all costs, they're even paying for it. Is because Nnamdi Kanu is going to remove nipple from their mouth. The reason why they are profiling what they call it a political solution or presidential pardon is because all those things is what is going to make them now to cripple Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and said, if you want us to release you now, you must hands up Biafra, Radio Biafra, all this. Even anybody who is agitating for Biafra, you are going to stand with the government and call the person out to stop. It's like I begin to wonder why what they call him this our elder Ralph was Rican now don't come out now begin to talk about Biafra. It's like when they want to sign the presidential pardon, maybe they have to give you like a space of 5 years, 8 years, or 10 years. Never you talk anything about Biafra again. Then after that one expires. By that time, you must have be forgotten. You understand? That's exactly what happened to Ralph Wazirike. You can as well see Ralph Wazirike now. Don't begin to talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the other cases involved Biafrans. Maybe the time that they gave him when he was signing the presidential pardon don't elapse. They don't expire. So that's exactly what they want to do to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Maybe 5 years or 10 years, you do not talk anything about Biafra. If anyone who is talking about Biafra, you are going to counter him. Don't forget there was a time Wazirike started to counter Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Maybe that is part of the deal. Until that deal expired, that is when this guy came back now and began to talk about Biafra. Even to the extent of saying that he was going to stand at a shorty if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being released. That if anything happens, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu do anyhow, they should hold him responsible. You can imagine that. But before he was tackling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it is part of the deal they signed in that so-called presidential pardon. Don't forget, amnesty is what is given to what they call him Wazirike with plenty of money to hands off the Masob movement. Maybe the internet will not carry this one. This one is just underground table settlement. Well, the message is very, very clear and very, very obvious that things is going to take a different turn moving forward. Inside this month that we are, things is going to take a different turn. And I can assure you, it is going to be to the profit of the Igbos. That is going to be to our own gain, to our own benefit, whether the devil like it or not. We don't even care. Now have gotten to the point whereby we are not talking about going back. No, we are moving forward. They say forward ever and backward never. Let me take a few comments from this post and then we round up the show. So we no come get sense again. Now I see now somebody now they talk this. I say so we no come get sense again. Over sense they worry that man. Okay. Stylish but illegal say these are part of the people who are running. Okay, who are running Mazen Nnamdi Kanu release with their utterances. Okay. Only one TV said they will come to Biafra Nation to apologize and confess, not in prison. That one is your own cup of tea. And we have said appropriation committee to lead joint briefing on persecution of Nigerian Christians and threats to religious freedom. This one is for Ted Cruz. Uza Ozoza said normally so no get sense but now that he has joined Mazen Nnamdi Kanu matter, he don't worse. Yeah. Omoladreno Bolakale, this guy no get sense because so already talk. They talk in favor of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Anywhere you see any good news about Biafrans, IPOB or Mazen Nnamdi Kanu or Igbos, it give you the bastard and baboons running stomach. They will never stay. But if they hear any bad news, my brother, they will be on top of it celebrating. So you only want to be hearing bad news about a particular region because of your hatred, not because they have done anything to you. Because of your hatred and jealousy, than you to hear good news. And you still want that same region to be in the same country with you. Is that not madness? All the whole Yoruba side and baboons, all 100%, they are all very, very crazy. They don't have any sense. You said that Igbos are the problem. Igbos are having baby factory. Igbos are selling fake products. Igbos are occupying your land. Igbos are doing your business. The same Igbos, tomorrow they will come out and tell you we want to go. You tag them terrorists. Anybody who say any good thing about the Igbos, you blacklist them, you blackmail them, you call them all sorts of names. Yes, you want to remain with that same people you hate in the same country. How does it work? Let this make it make sense. Correct the thought. You hate people, you say that they are all manner of things. Your pastors are saying they are the problem, they have cause. And you still want to still remain in the same country with the people who is carrying cause, left, right, and center. Maybe now we have now realized that this is not just hatred. These have gotten to the level of madness. All the Yoruba and Babos are mad. They are crazy. It is no more jealousy. If I'm your friend and you found out that I have a dubious character, maybe character of stealing, character of molesting women, character of doing things that is going to get you, being my friend, involved in a very long prison sentence, because a friend of a thief is equally a thief. And then, instead of you to divorce me as your friend and tell me, please go your way, I have nothing to do with you again, if you cannot live an upright life. Did you know how to do it? You separate yourself from that very particular friend who is having a dubious character, even if it's marriage, and said, oh, this woman now is an infidel. You understand me? She runs up left, right, and center or this man now is an infidel. He cannot take care of his family. He runs anything under the skate. What happened to that marriage? It is not to separate the marriage. Then let Okeke and Okafor go their way. At least with that, the man will have a rest of mind. The woman will have rest of mind. And they will separate peacefully. Even if not be peacefully, let it be scattered. But let there be separation. See yet, you say that these people have everything bad. You say they are the one that is called mining. You say that they are the one that is selling white, whatever you call it, hard D or whatever you may call it. You said all manner of evil saying at them. Now they be the problem of Nigeria. They have cause. The same people will come out tomorrow now and tell you, okay, let Biafra go. You will conclude, why must they go? They are terrorists. The same people you call terrorists are rejoicing that Trump is coming to wipe away terrorists. You get angry with them again and begin to carry a propaganda that they are the one that is sanctioning Trump to come to Nigeria. You can imagine this mindset. Since I noticed that these people have nothing to offer, just only jealousy and hatred, I stopped replying to anything they have to write on X, because I have found out that they are not normal, they are mad. All of them are mad. The bad condition Tinubu, their brother have put them, have made them to all of them to go mad entirely. If you hate somebody, what you have to do, you part way with that person, let that person go. But the same people will come and remind you that Delta is not Igbo, they are not going to go with Igbos. But when you come and tell them that Lagos is no man's land, Lagos is no Yoruba land, problem started. But the day will come now to define to you that Port Harcourt is not Igbo land, Delta is not Igbo land, Akwa Ibom is not Igbo land. They just want to occupy them because they have oil. To hell with that your oil. Who tell you that Southeast don't have oil? Or who tell you that Southeast depend on Nigerian oil or whatever to prosper? In that Southeast you call Southeast have the highest market in the whole of the West Africa. Main market on Osha. Not government built, not government. Government have no any contribution. Rather, government is the one taking taxes from them. That is individual effort. And yes, somebody will come and be telling you, Southeast, forgotten. Somebody who never even travel out of his village. We stay under mango tree, be tweeting rubbish about Igbos. He never even travel, not because you have one propaganda from one blogger or the other. This message go to Yoruba boons and bastards. Travel and see and stop all those your non-entity lifestyle. And the timidity is too much. Anyway, my people, now here we go take back break. We don't have much to waste. Much time to waste. And I will encourage you to do what? To share this message as long as it gets to you. As soon as it gets to you, please share it. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. Follow me on all our social media handles. And as you do that, may God Almighty continue to bless you, prosper you, and meet you at every point of your need. That is my prayers always for you. Have a nice day. Kachineke mezioku.